It's nothing exciting. It's just a Starbucks gift card, and I'm really salty because they didn't have the Braille card.
Really?
You know the Braille
yes,
one?
the one by my house. My girlfriend Mariah recently was like, "Oh, they had Braille on them." I was like, "No way!" And so I bought one.
So then, when you put it in your wallet, you can actually figure out which card it is, which I love.
Yes.
But they were sold out of the Braille ones. I'm like, who's buying up all the Braille ones? There is no world in which there's that many blind people walking into Starbucks being like, you know what, this is great. Thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. You can go to squarespace.com/MollyBurke to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain name. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my new series, Blind Leading the Blind. If you haven't seen episode 1, where blind surfer Pete Gustin taught me to surf, you might be a little bit confused. That's where I announced this new series where I will be traveling the world, Molly Burke, a blind human, will be traveling the world, meeting up with other blind people who are experts or professionals in some kind of skill that I certainly do not possess. Because remember, folks, just because one blind person can do something does not mean all blind people can do something. So today I could not be more excited for this episode because this is something I've quite literally wanted to do from the time I was a wee child. I was the little sister who was very much not cool and desperately wanted to be like my older brother who was very much cool. And so anything he did, I inherently wanted to do, but often could not because this was the 90s, the early 2000s. Accessibility was not what it is today. And so one of those things was gaming. I could never game because even though I had good vision as a child, I have been legally blind from birth. So I couldn't see enough on the screen to be able to game, especially because a lot of games were very dark and I would have needed very bright, high color contrast. There was one game I could play. It was iconic. It was called Fusion Frenzy. Those who get it, get it. And that was the only game I could play because it was bright colors, it was slow moving, and there was like only a few of the games I could play. One of them you would like jump and duck and jump and duck, and another one you were like in these balls and you were like pushing each other and trying to get each other off a platform. And that was it. And I've never been able to play a game since. But we're changing all of that today. I have a friend named Ross Miner.
My name is Ross Miner. I'm completely blind. I can't see at all. And I'm a certified accessibility professional, passionate in accessibility in gaming and media and pretty much anything that involves accessibility. But as far as how did I go blind? I was actually born with perfect sight, 20/20 vision, but I lost it when I was 8. Trigger warning, gun violence, domestic abuse. When I was 8 in 2006, my mother was divorcing my father. And so as an act of retaliation, my father shot me in my sleep, shot and killed my brother Ryan in his sleep, and then committed suicide. I was rushed to the hospital and they took out my left eye, and pretty much I went to bed sighted and woke up completely blind.
Ross and I go way back. We've known each other for probably 8 years now. Actually, do you know what's funny? We're having a full circle moment because I met Ross at the place where I went surfing for the first time. Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Crazy. So I met him like 8 years ago, the same place I met my best friend Brayden, and went surfing. And God, I just adore Ross. And I know all of you will too. I'm gonna link all of Ross's stuff down below. He does make content. So he is in the car right now on his way over with his guide dog Dixie, who Elton could not be more excited to meet. And he's bringing all of his gaming equipment. I don't know where we are going to begin, but he's been thinking. I know he's been cooking something up for me, and let's go. I'm gonna be like a little blind girl gamer now, and I'm so excited. My gaming dreams are about to come true. God, I'm probably gonna suck.
You're generally good. Figure it out and you get.
No, I'm really good at athletic things. We'll see. We'll see. Could this be the start of a gaming series?
Could be beginner's luck.
Hopefully. But I feel like there's going to be a steep learning curve. We'll see. We'll see. But this might be the beginning of a gaming series on my channel. Who knows? So don't judge me, you guys. First time gamer. Hello. Come on in.
Alright, coming in. Dixie, come on. Oh, her tail's going crazy.
I put Elton in the room because I was like, he's going to like watch and see another dog. I want to say hi to Dixie.
Yeah,
She
I can take her off right now. Oh my gosh.
Well, Dixie! Dixie!
Dixie's having a good
She's gotta
sniff.
investigate everything.
Wait, oh yeah, can I feel your
Yeah,
handle?
I got you.
I always love feeling other harnesses.
Yeah.
Oh my god! That is longer than my torso. Your handle is longer than my torso.
It's so long.
Okay, should I let Elton out so they can say
Yes,
hi?
absolutely.
Okay, everybody prepare for... Okay, ready you two?
Pretty civilized.
Dixie
Yeah.
will take any. Oh, there we go.
Hello. I'm here too.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, this is overwhelming.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh,
excited.
she never barks. Never ever. That's how you get from excited.
She's like, oh my god, he's so cute, he's so cute.
Oh, he literally just planted his face in my crotch.
Yep, that sounds like Elton.
He's so wiggly.
He's a wiggly boy.
Hi.
He runs in circles when he gets excited.
Oh my goodness.
It's like the boy, the girl, the big, the little, the long hair, the short hair, but they're like both black. Hi, Dixie. After Dixie and Elton got acquainted, Ross set off to work setting up all of his equipment that he brought over, and I have to say, if I had any idea how much equipment this gaming was gonna take, I would not have asked him to bring it all over to my house. We would have figured something else out because wow, the amount of cords, like it literally took hours to set up, and I so appreciate Ross for doing all of that. In my eyes, the man is a tech whiz. But before I let Ross tell you more about who he is and what he does and how he got into the world of accessibility and gaming, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video who makes videos like this possible, and that is Squarespace. Squarespace is the only platform you need to start and grow your online business. Squarespace is where I have hosted my website, mollyburkeofficial.com, for many years now. And in case you are unfamiliar, it is a platform that has a bunch of different templates, and then you can select a template to build your own website for any kind of business, whether you want to sell merch, physical products, virtual products, book appointments, have a blog, integrate posts with your social media, have private, gated content. Like, you can do so much with your online business over on Squarespace. So you take this template and then you can make your website custom within that. Now, it costs a lot of money to hire somebody to build a website from scratch if, like me, you are unable to do that for yourself. And so that's why I love Squarespace so much, because it's much more cost effective. And honestly, you can't tell if it's a Squarespace website that was built off of a template or not, because once you pick a template, you customize it so much from there. It also allows you to do lots of things like adding alt text to make your website accessible, which we love. It gives you access to different insights and analytics, marketing tools, and so much more. And you can go to squarespace.com/mollyburke to get 10% off your purchase of a website or domain name. And now let's get back to Ross.
I've really bridged the gap with my blindness through accessibility. The belief that everything should have equal access and be accessible to all people with disabilities, but specifically with video games. I've always loved video games. Ever since I can remember, I've been playing video games. Ever since I was a little kid, I played Nintendo 64, Pokemon, Smash Bros, you name it. After I went blind, I realized just how much video games meant to me and how much I was missing out. Well, 2006, Pokemon was at its peak, and everyone my age was still playing Pokemon. Before I went blind, I loved playing Pokemon. And so I made it my mission to do whatever I could to play Pokemon. And I remember when I got out of the hospital, I gotten a lot of my valuables, possessions back, and I had my Game Boy SP. And I booted up my Pokemon game, and I quickly learned Pokemon has really good sound design. Everything from the cries of the Pokemon to all the attacks. I eventually, through memory alone, began teaching myself each area of the game and teaching myself each cry of each Pokemon. And through that, I was really able to connect with my peers around me again. Because a lot of them, they knew me before I went blind, but afterwards it was different. I was treated differently. And video games is a way for people to socialize through pop culture, through connections. And so when I began playing Pokemon, it was almost like I wasn't blind when I was playing video games, because I was able to play along with my friends. They didn't see me as different. They saw me on the same playing field as them. Because of that, in high school, I started a YouTube channel where I talk about accessibility, my life as a blind person, but specifically accessibility in gaming. And ever since I created my YouTube channel, as the years have gone by, accessible gaming has absolutely blown up. And these days, I would consider myself an accessibility consultant for game studios. I've worked with game studios like Microsoft and Ubisoft and a whole bunch of others to make their games more accessible for people who are blind. And I am an advisory member on the board for Descriptive Video Works, the leading audio description provider in North America. And they've recently branched out into describing audio games. And so I've been very involved in that, as well as many other projects they've been doing.
I think that gaming is something that would typically be considered highly visual, like a lot of the things that I love: tattoos, home decor, makeup, fashion. But as I always say, going blind doesn't change who you are, it changes how you do things. So yes, Ross and I have had to adapt and accommodate ourselves so that we can love what we love, but we love it enough that it's worth the extra effort that it takes to put into it. Even if Ross and I can't enjoy these quote visual things in the exact same ways that sighted people can, it is still enjoyable and fulfilling to be able to experience them in any capacity. I think it's so funny hearing you talk about what gaming did for you, because it's very similar to what I feel like beauty and fashion did for me. Like
Definitely.
Being able to find common ground with sighted people as a blind person is this way to like bridge the gap after vision loss.
Absolutely.
When you go from feeling like you're like them to not, you're like, how do I connect again?
Yeah.
And even though we can feel like there's so much connection, a lot of times society looks at us and only sees the differences. Like they only see the way in which they are different from us and not the ways in which we are the same. Which is why I'm so passionate about what I do on my channel, is like I'm trying to show society, like, look how normal I and my community are. You know what I mean? Like, we're not so different. And if we're not so different, then like, come up and talk to us, take us out on dates, give us a job, like give us opportunity to be with the rest of society the way we deserve to and crave to be.
And that's the thing, like, humans are social creatures. Blind people are humans too. And so we want to enjoy all those things that sighted people want to as well. We want to be included.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm more of an athlete than like a tech girly. So despite the fact that I could die surfing or could be like eaten by sharks or drown, I am more nervous to game because I feel like I'm not going to be good at it, and I'm really scared because I've always wanted to game and I'm scared I'm not going to be good.
It's new territory, so I definitely feel that. There's a learning curve for sure.
And you game both on PC as well as console gaming.
Yes, I pretty much try to play on whatever console I can because they all have varying levels of accessibility. So I have Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, PC, VR, everything.
You have VR stuff?
Yes. I do.
No way!
So it's currently not accessible.
Yeah.
Currently not accessible. I know about some stuff that's in the works, but that's it. That's all I can say.
You got the NDA secrets.
Yeah, literally.
You have the NDA secrets. Okay, we'll talk off camera. I really want to play with VR. Like, I feel like VR has such a huge opportunity to help disabled people. AR and VR, and I'm like really excited for when it is accessible and I can experience it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Microsoft has done a lot of AR and VR stuff through like Seeing AI and different apps that they have. So it does show a lot of potential for people with disabilities.
Well, I think about even things like perhaps orientation and mobility lessons. Places that your O&M instructor can't physically take you to do lessons. Like the airport past security. Like being able
that's such a good point.
Right?
It's so true.
Being able to do O&M, or like when you go to a brand new school, like your college campus. Like 6 months before you start college, your O&M instructor being able to do like a VR sessions with you to get used to the campus. Like all of those things would be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, especially because like with O&M, you have to be there physically, and so a lot of the times, like let's say you're moving to a new state or moving to a college that's in a different state, you can't just go and get a lesson and fly back. It's very, very difficult. So yeah, VR would be really cool for that.
But in terms of gaming, what is your favorite way to game? Like, what's your favorite game right now?
I play whatever is accessible.
I'm really grateful that I have you, because every other blind gamer that I happen to know has a lot more vision than me.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them are able to see the screen and use more so like low vision settings.
Yeah.
And I was like trying to rack my brain. I was like, who's a blind gamer I can reach out to that like actually cannot see the screen at all like me and is going to be able to really give me which games I'm going to be able to play and help me figure this out. And I was like, Ross is the only guy I know who can help me with this. So I am so excited because I've been wanting to do this for so long.
Yeah, it took a long time to get to this point. Like after I went blind, I didn't actually start using computers, using a screen reader until high school. So
wow.
Yeah, like I totally feel just how intimidating it is, because it is a lot to learn.
I don't know if you're like this, but I think the reason I would say I'm like more athletic and this like scares me more is because with something athletic, I'm physically doing it.
Yeah.
So I can conceptualize it. But I struggle to conceptualize things that I cannot see or feel.
Yeah.
And so if I can't see something, I must touch it in order to understand it.
I definitely feel that. I used to be a professional swimmer and now I'm a techie. So if I can do it, you can do it.
Okay. I think we should just like, dive right in.
Oh, good
dive
one.
right in. You like my little swimming reference?
Yes.
Where should we start? What do you think is a good first lesson? You set all this stuff up. I don't even know what's in front of us. So what do we have here?
Yeah, so we have basically, I mean, a lot of what we have set up is just everything to record it all. But what you'll either be using is a keyboard or a controller, depending on your preferences.
Okay, I found the keyboard.
So, yep, that's the keyboard, and it's off right now, so you can press whatever button you want.
And then, where's the controller?
And so this is the controller here. This is a PS5 controller. I'm curious what you think of that one. Well, I like the Xbox controllers more because I find they're more comfortable. Ooh. But the PS5 controllers have a lot more tech in them.
I mean, I have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah, for sure.
But, I mean, I find it comfy.
Yeah.
This reminds me of, like, watching my brother play Nintendo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Growing up. Like, he had a bright green Nintendo controller.
Yeah.
I want a pink one.
Yes.
I wish I had a pink one.
I think this one is, like...
Over here?
Is a camo-colored one. It's not, like, red and...
That is cool.
Is it red, Mom? What color?
Yeah, it's a lovely red. Deep kind of blood red.
All right, let's get gaming. I've got a controller in hand, and I'm ready to start the intense learning curve that I'm sure this will be.
All right, we're gonna make you a pro gamer.
Okay, so I have two controllers here, and the gamer's in the room. Where's the other one? Oh, I'm too blind for this. Where is it?
Further to the right. Further to the right. Forward.
Found it. Okay, so the two gamers in the room have told me that the Xbox controller and the PS5?
Yep, PS5.
Thank you. Just assume I know nothing. Like, assume I am a complete idiot about gaming, because I am. Okay, so they've told me that the Xbox controller feels better.
Feels better.
Okay.
The keyword is feels, because I think a lot of people agree that the PlayStation controller has a lot more features. It's a lot more technologically advanced, but just the Xbox one just is so comfortable to hold, in my opinion.
I like the PS one better.
Oh wow!
Really?
I like that the joysticks
Yep.
are next to each other.
Yep.
I like that better.
For a lot of people, that's kind of the deal breaker with the Xbox controllers. Is so I understand that.
I like that, like, the buttons are on the outside and the joysticks are on the inside, whereas this one, it's like button, joystick, button, joystick.
That's true.
I don't like that.
Yes.
Yep, no, I definitely like the PS one. Novice gamer.
Culture
I've made
war.
the executive decision. PS5 is better.
There will be no controversy in the comments about that at all.
Oh, goodness. Am I going to upset the gamers? Everybody, I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I know nothing. Don't listen to me. Listen to Ross. Okay, so I have, like, a keyboard in front of me.
Yep.
This is weird because like I'm just so used to a laptop keyboard, and these
Yeah.
are so squishy.
Yeah, I like this keyboard a lot compared to laptop keyboards just because like the buttons are spaced out, and so it makes it easier to find. But as you did see, the only thing about this keyboard is that the bumps on the F and J are pretty.
They're almost non-existent.
Yeah, they're
like,
pretty.
They are
it's
so
rough.
hard to find.
Yeah, and I mean I've had that keyboard for like 4 years, so maybe that's why. But I think
I
they
feel
came
like
that.
like there's no way you rubbed
Yeah,
plastic down
exactly.
so much.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have headphones here for me to wear.
Yep. So we are both going to be wearing headphones. I gave you the better pair.
Oh, so kind.
and-
Wait, is there a left and right side? Okay, I'm so professional.
Yes. That's a pretty popular streaming headset. So now you look like a streamer.
Oh my god, I look like a real gamer. Okay, fake it till you make it, Ross.
Yes.
Okay, so I have my headphones on, and then what is this keyboard connected to?
So it's connected to my PC where we'll be running pretty much most of the games, except for what we play later. Yeah, and so right now we're both able to hear the same exact thing. So you'll be able to hear the game. You'll be able to hear my screen reader, which I probably should turn the speed down because that's probably really, really fast.
What speed are you at? Yeah, I'm pretty good, but I can't hear.
Yeah.
It's such a robotic voice, this one.
Yeah, and I can change it if that would be, well, for the first game we won't even need the screen reader, so.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is there more games you can, like the more site you have, there are more games you can play? Like because I feel like, or is there about the same amount of low vision accessible games as fully blind games?
I would say generally if you're low vision, it opens up a little bit. People with low vision still need text-to-speech to play video games. They still need color contrast and zooming and all that, and a lot of games still don't have that. So I do think that people with some vision can still play some, but I think they have to kind of create a lot of workarounds, just as many as blind people do.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of the times their accessibility needs differ, but then many times they're the same.
Okay, so what am I playing first?
So the game we are going to be playing is called As Dusk Falls, and it came out back in October, I believe, roughly around there, sometime in 2022. But it's basically just a story game where you follow the story and you choose your own adventure. You make the decisions, and what your decisions do impact the story. So it sticks to the same story, but like your decisions can really matter, and a lot of the times they are really just like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And so that's what makes it really, really fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You're just picking from a menu of options. And then there are some quick time events, and quick time events are when like a prompt comes on the screen and says, press this button, or things like that. But there are accessibility features to help out with that. But all of it is accessible with Microsoft's screen reader called Narrator. Since this is a Microsoft game, I don't know if it's made by Microsoft, but it's on Microsoft systems. So it uses Narrator, and so it has its own built-in screen reader, and yeah, it's good to go.
Are a lot of these games like just for blind people, or sighted people can play them as well?
So this game is meant for everyone. It is
Okay.
not meant for just blind people.
Okay. So
yeah,
there's just an accessible version of the regular.
Exactly. Well, it's not even like a separate version. It's just the game. It's
Oh.
accessible. Yeah. So like for example, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe in this game, when you start it up, it will tell you like press A to turn on screen reader.
Yeah, it just
Things
said
like-
press A, but I
Yeah.
don't know what A is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I probably should show you all
we're
the
at
buttons.
our first problem.
Yeah, so the main button that you'll be using here, I'll take the controller, or you can hold it, is that button right there is
Okay.
A. As far as quick time events, I'll show you the buttons, but if you get them wrong, like you're not going to lose the game or anything. But so that's A, that's B, that's Y, and that's X.
Wow, would have been really convenient if it was A, B, C, D.
Yeah, we'll get this. Nintendo's or PlayStations are square, circle, cross, and triangle. And then Nintendo's are A, B, X, Y, but they're flipped compared to Xbox.
Lord,
so
okay.
it's so
Jesus.
difficult to remember.
Okay,
Even
so
I
A
forget.
is A the most important one?
Yeah, A is what you'll be using to like select
And then
your
will
options.
I be using like the joysticks?
Yeah, you can either, the menus are vertical, so you'll just be using up and down, or you can
Or I
use
can
the
use
D-pad.
this.
Yep,
Okay.
that's called the D-pad.
D-pad.
D-pad stand, for a second I was like, why did they call it that? It stands for directional pad. The story can get kind of dark in some places, so...
Can you control it as well?
Can-
Can you control it at the same time?
The game? No.
Okay, so this is all
Yeah,
on
it's
me.
all you. But I can, always take the controller if something comes up.
But you can hear what I hear.
Yep, I can hear what you hear.
Okay, so you can tell me what I should do
Yep.
if I need it. Okay.
This menu right here,
Accessibility.
sometimes I feel like the screen reader gets stuck on it, so try
Change
to move
user.
it left.
New story.
Yeah, there
Create a
you
new
go.
solo or
story? Do I
multiplayer
do
game.
that?
I would definitely do
Controller
that.
button
Yep.
A to select. Select play
Okay.
mode. Play solo or in multiplayer. You can change this at any point.
Solo, right?
D-pad down button for first option. Play solo.
Choose my player
B button for
profile.
back. Ross.
Yeah.
Controller
you
button
put
A,
under
back.
my name.
Ross Mino. Controller button A to select.
Do I-
Change input device. Add new profile.
Rossmino?
Press to Ross Mino.
I think I accidentally did
Controller
that by
button A,
mistake,
select.
and so then I
Option 2 of 5.
created a new profile
Use Ross.
called Ross.
Controller
Yeah, there we
button
go.
A to select.
So whenever
Option 1 of
you're
5.
press A.
Use D-pad to navigate.
Okay, my
Begin
guide
the
dog
game.
is really excited
Controller
about
button
this.
A to select. Controller. How to play.
What do I do now?
Just press A to advance.
Make decisions. Highlight your favorite option and press A to select. Press B to deselect.
I'm now just passing through
Yeah,
all
you
this.
just
I'm like,
skip
I
it.
don't care, I
Okay.
want to play.
Discover
Yeah, if
how your
anything
choices
comes up,
reveal
I'll
your
just show
personal
you.
insights.
What do I do now?
I didn't hear what
Download
it
the
said.
S-Desk Balls app and use your phone or tablet as a controller.
I'm Zoe.
Not so long ago,
Okay.
I wanted to be a journalist. Now, I just want to hold my breath.
I like her voice.
Yeah.
She has a
And
really
right-
good voice.
If I remember correctly,
Not
right
because
now
I wanna
she's in a
black
pool.
out.
She's underwater in a pool holding her breath.
But for the calm that comes beforehand, when thoughts die, it's like none of it ever happened.
May 29, 1998. Route 66, Arizona.
It even reads that. It's amazing. It's not common for games to do that at all.
Daddy, are we gonna play?
Sorry, Pumpkin. You bet we're gonna play. Now, I know you're an expert, but are you sure you've looked at everything?
Trust me, I got this.
Okay. Then what color is...
Explore the scene. Move your cursor. Use D-pad for choices. Sky. Choice 1 of 5. Controller button A to select our car. Choice 2 of 5. Controller button A to select. Old fence. Choice 3 of 5. Big truck. Choice 4 of 5. Our car. Sky.
Yeah, sometimes the menus aren't
The
completely
great
vertical.
big
Other times you have to
Arizona
move
sky.
right or left a little
That's
bit.
too easy. It's blue.
All right, Smarty Pants. What shade of blue?
Sky blue?
Hey, you are rocking this today, Zoe. Looks like you're ready for the next level.
What's the next level?
You ask me one final question. If I don't get it on the first try, you win the whole game.
Let's play it.
Let me just have one last look around.
Ready?
Choice. 20 seconds. Use D-pad for choices. Select a risk. Ready. Choice 1 of 2. Controller not ready. Choice 2 of 2. Controller button A to select.
Okay, shoot.
How many stars are on my backpack?
Choice.
This one's ableist.
20 seconds. Use D-pad for choices.
We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh.
5. Choice 1 of 4. 6.
And this is one of those
Choice 2 of 4.
questions, I
7.
believe, where you
Choice
don't
3 of
think
4.
it matters,
Controller
but I think
button
it
A.
does end up mattering later in the story.
Okay, I'm just randomly gonna pick 7.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
Nope, it's 6.
Ah.
I win! I win!
Oh,
Oh, really?
did I doze off?
Mommy, I won!
You did? Great job, Love Bug. I'm proud of you.
Come on, back in the car. We still got 45 states license plates to spot.
You doing okay?
Yeah, sure. It's, I'm fine, Michelle. We're good.
There's so many different types of games and styles of games that I feel like it's like different types of games are gonna appeal to different types of gamers, right?
Mm-hmm, definitely.
I feel like for my personality,
Uh-huh.
a game like this is too slow.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not holding my attention.
That's fair.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
I'm an adrenaline junkie and I love speed.
Totally fair.
So for
Totally
me,
fair.
I love go, do things, do things,
Okay.
do things, do things. I like
Okay.
to always be doing things.
Yeah.
So this is like for me, I'm just like, I don't know why you would play this. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't appeal to me.
That's true.
But I know that this doesn't mean I don't like gaming.
Mhm.
It just means I feel like I probably don't like the storytelling interactive games.
Yeah, definitely. I picked this one because it was not necessarily because I was like, oh, I think she'll love this, but because it was the most accessible, kind of easiest.
Simple.
Yeah.
Simple place
definitely.
to start.
Mhm,
Totally.
mhm.
But I feel like I learned something about myself. This isn't my style of game.
Yeah. No, that's totally okay. We could either keep playing, or if we want to just move on to the next one.
I want to move
totally
on to the
fine.
next one.
Okay.
I want to see what else you got
Yeah,
for me.
sounds good. I don't want to assume or underassume, but do you know what a mod is?
I do not.
So it's essentially where
I know Nothing.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't want to like over assume and like talk or like under assume.
No, you
talking,
can really
do
truly
you know
assume you're
what
talking to
mod-
like a completely
okay,
ignorant person.
Well, essentially, studios will come out with a game, and mods allow other developers, people who aren't affiliated with the studio at all, to essentially create new features for the game, and then players can download those mods and import them into their game, and then the game will have that functionality. So in this case, someone wrote a mod to add accessibility to Stardew.
Wow,
Yeah.
Thanks, person.
Yeah, seriously.
That's awesome.
The game itself does support controller, but then when it comes to like using some of the accessibility features, you have to use a keyboard.
Okay, so it's probably better that I just use the keyboard, even though I like the controller because it makes me feel like a real gamer.
That's the thing. I play with both. I usually play with the controller, and if there's like a feature I need to use, then I'll quickly like tap on my keyboard. But that's not the most easiest thing to do.
Okay, so why don't I use the controller and then
yeah,
you can tap onto the keyboard when needed?
Yeah. Okay. So try clicking like left or right. Yeah. So right. Yeah. So
name?
First.
This is where I name it?
Go to the left. I just want to make sure. Yeah, you're at left one more. Okay, yeah, so go right. So yeah, first you pick your name, your character's name. And so to interact with the edit box, you press Control Enter.
F.
That was Control Space. Press Control Space again.
God damn it! We're off to a fabulous start. Remember how I told you I'm not very tiny?
No, you're totally fine.
Did I do it right this time? I'm sure people come up with such funny, quirky, silly names.
Yeah, I know. There's so much pressure. What if you called it? I mean, isn't your fans called like
the Killer Bees?
What if you called it like the Beehive or something?
Okay.
Just a suggestion.
It could be a honey farm. That's actually awesome.
Honeybee.
Favorite thing?
Okay, but my favorite thing is makeup, and that seems not applicable here.
No. Literally put anything. I know it comes up at some point in the story, but it's not like relevant to anything.
Shopping.
Yeah, there you go.
These are video games. They're meant to be fun. You're having fun with it. Don't take it. I mean, it feels like you're filling out a business form right now. But
literally.
yeah.
I'm not at the feels fun part yet. Okay, next. Do I hit escape?
Yep, and then right arrow.
Okay.
Previous pet button, current pet.
And then you can choose your pet. And so it said previous pet, and if you go right, it'll say next pet.
Next pet button.
And so you can kind of toggle in between like what kind of pet you want, and it'll describe them as well.
Okay, wait.
Current pet.
If you keep going, you can kind of see all the options that there are.
Do I keep pushing the command enter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're essentially selecting like an arrow button that's cycling through a menu.
Yeah. So you press it endlessly. It'll just keep looping through all the.
Current pet. Yellow cat with purple collar. Current pet. Gray tabby cat with white belly. Grandpa. On his deathbed.
You're a boy now, Molly.
I was gonna say, why am I a boy?
Oh, you didn't pick your.
Whoops.
Oh well.
And for my very special granddaughter.
If you want, you can go back. But
no, it's okay.
Employees in their cubicles.
It's not very clear.
Exhausted,
It all
including
just does it
yourself.
by itself.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little slow sometimes, in my opinion. I'm sure visually there's probably more things going on.
Yeah,
maybe,
I'm sure it's like visually interesting.
Does it describe any of it?
It describes like some of it.
So there's a bus driving down the road, the rolling hills in the background, very green and lush. Now it's faded black.
It'd be nice
Robin
to
said,
have auto
and here we are,
dialogue, so
your
you
new
have to keep
home.
Pressing.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
Lewis said, the new farmer. Lewis said, well, Lewis said it's not every day that someone new moves in. It's quite a big deal. Lewis said it's a good house, very rustic.
I wish these were like real people voices.
Yeah.
Robin said crust. Lewis
Yeah,
says
well,
rude.
Stardew Valley is kind of the exception. It's an indie game made by one person.
Lewis said, don't listen to her,
blew
Alyssa.
up. It is
Robin says,
such a popular game.
I don't want to be a downer,
Okay.
but there are things in life that I do that make me sad, I mind. And like this is making me more sad than excited. Like,
really?
It's making me wish I could see it. It's making me wish I could just like do it like everybody else. Like it's not making me feel empowered. It's like making me sad. Do you know what I mean? Do you ever try things and you're like, oh, this is so much harder than it would be if I could see?
Yeah, I do know what you mean. And like gaming, there is a learning curve. Yeah, I do see what you mean.
It's like I want to see the pictures and the colors, like it's so visual. It's like I want to see it.
I definitely know what you mean. If a game had like audio description, would you feel differently about it?
Yeah.
Or no, that's totally fair.
Because then I feel like I could see it, but now I'm just hearing like a robot voice just saying things.
That's true, but then a lot of the times in video games, it's like about, you know, what you do, creatively expressing yourself. And so I think it all depends on like the reasons you play video games, you know, if you're trying to play with friends or you're trying to create something cool, because like, yeah, Stardew is good for that. But I do know what you mean, that it still stinks that you still can't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I feel like this would be so much more interesting if I could just see it.
In a lot of ways, most things in life would be. I would say it's definitely normal to feel overwhelmed with it. I would say like wait till you actually start playing the game before you make a decision. And there are games that like aren't as like keyboard heavy and things like that would also interest you. I'm totally down to do whatever you want to do.
So here's the thing, the purpose of this series is not to be like, I'm good at everything. So it's like
completely
Sighted
agree.
Ross would love gaming.
Yeah, and
So
that's
for
that's
you-
why I continue to do this.
Yes.
Because I love it.
Yes.
But for someone who has never gamed before, then it's so much more intimidating. It's cognitive load.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. It is a lot. And maybe I didn't present like the best games to show you. I can feel that, and I still appreciate like you giving it a try, because there's no way of knowing what you like or dislike or interested or not interested in if you don't give it a try.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, like, how much longer do I go through this to get to the farm?
Literally, this is just story stuff, so you can skip past it.
Okay, how do I skip past?
Here, I can do it for you.
Okay.
I think so. You are now in your farmhouse. I can get you outside if you want me to. Or it'll be a lot easier. So pretty much where you can use the controller,
Okay.
especially at this part. So I'll show you the buttons. Basically the ones that you are mainly concerned with right now, because right now you have this empty plot of land that you can do whatever you want with. And there's stones, there's twigs, there's weeds all over the place, and you have to clean it up. And so to cycle between your different tools, you press the triggers, and those triggers are...
Oh, these...
Yep. And so whichever one you press, it'll cycle in that direction. So like think of it like a wheel, you know? Yeah.
Water can, pickaxe.
Yeah, so like for example your side, and then if you press X, which is the left button in that like group of 4,
Yeah.
press that. Yeah, that was you swiping your side. And so if you picture in your head, your farm starts at the top right of your plot of land. So like if you make your way down and left, you'll start to hear stuff. So like right there, stone. If you pull out your pickaxe, you can hit that.
And how do I pull out the axe?
You just use the triggers to keep going.
I want to do the watering can.
Right now, you don't have anything to water.
Oh.
But you will. Yeah, right there.
Oh.
Yeah, so you just pickaxe a stone. If you keep walking around.
Oh, can I
You can...
water the grass?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what a lot of people do, because it is a pain to like cycle between your God, I keep wanting to call them weapons. Options, tools. That's the word. I kept wanting to say weapons. No, but if a lot of people will like stick to one thing, so like they'll get all the weeds off, and then they'll try to get all the stones off and things like that. That way you don't like. But yeah.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Yeah, you're literally getting it.
And eventually, like, you won't have to think about it anymore. You'll just be like
Exactly.
charging through.
You're playing exactly how I played when I first started playing Stardew Valley. The only difference is that I have, like, a lot of gaming requires contextual knowledge built off of other games you have played. So if this is the first game, yeah, it's going to be difficult. But I played exactly like this when I first started playing Stardew. I was like, wait, what is what button? There's so many buttons, you know? So...
I can imagine if this was actually built accessibly, it would be super fun.
Yeah.
Like if it had AD and like described what everything looked like throughout the whole opening sequences and stuff.
Yeah, I completely agree. That is something that I definitely agree that games do need more description. We've gotten to the point where, yeah, like Last of Us, you can beat the game, but you don't know what anything looks like.
Yeah.
So that what you're talking about is actually a concern that many blind people have currently.
I just want to jump in here and elaborate a bit more on my experience and my thoughts and feelings towards gaming as a blind girl who did it for the first time with no history of gaming. I think it's so incredible that there are individuals out there who create mods that allow people like Ross and I to be able to game. That said, I also find it incredibly frustrating that so much of the accessibility that does exist in gaming, from what I understand, has come down to mods. When gaming is such a huge industry, there is so much money in this industry, and there are so many huge, successful companies that could take the time and put in the effort and money that they have to making games accessible from the start. Accessibility will never be as easy to use. It will never be as fun when it is an afterthought, and there's truly no reason that it should be. And I know from what I hear, we're moving in the right direction and things are changing, but I honestly was surprised that it isn't further along than it is. I guess I expected or thought that the state of accessibility in gaming was better than I feel from this experience it is. And I feel like these huge companies with, again, all these budgets and access to hiring talent to create accessible games are missing out on a huge market that is disabled gamers. Now again, I could be wrong. I don't have a lot of knowledge or experience in this space, but that was kind of my thought, and I would love to hear from those of you who do know more about this topic to weigh in the comment section with your opinions and thoughts and educate me as well as others who are watching this that might not know. One thing about me is I'm a hyper-visual person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's because I went blind over time. I don't know if it's because my parents are both very visual people. Like my mom was a graphic designer and photographer.
Oh wow.
Like
okay.
My grandma was a wedding dress designer. Like I have like a lot of, my dad is marketing. So it's like all very visual industries. And so I don't know if it's just my DNA or because I could see at some point, but I constantly want to know what everything looks like.
Yeah.
Like everywhere I go, I constantly I want the restaurant described to me. I want the room decor described to me. I want, like I was telling you, the colors on my walls when I was walking you through the colors at my couches, because that's what I would want to know if I went to your house.
I was about to say that describes you.
Yeah.
That's literally you. Because the funny thing is like when you began describing like what your apartment looked like, I was like, oh, okay. I was a little surprised, but it just goes to show, yeah, everyone is different. Everyone has their own preferences.
Yeah, and it's like I can understand that to like a lot of my blind friends, they don't care.
Yeah.
Like it does not matter to them what everything looks like. It matters to me what everything looks like. And when I don't get that description, I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I am missing something.
Yeah.
And so for me, like I just straight up, typically, unless I saw the movie or TV show when I could see, I won't watch it if it doesn't have AD. Like I just straight up
I
watch
don't
it.
listen to anything
because
about
it just like I'm just like all I
Yeah.
can think about is like all the stuff that I'm confused by and missing out on, and like what are you seeing? Like I like want to know constantly.
Yeah.
I want like an AD track for life.
Yeah. People expect different things from different games. Like there are some games I won't even touch that blind people play, but I'm just like, that's just a headache to play. No thanks.
Right.
So I get it. Everyone has their preferences. Like the controls for Pokemon are a lot less complicated. This is Pokemon Fire Red. This game came out in 2003. I remember playing it when I could see. I still remember all of it. And Pokemon games had been relatively accessible, but not really by design, just by happenstance, until people came along and made accessibility mods for these games. And so, yeah, figured, I think it'd just be really cool for you to like just play the opening scene to know that you've played this iconic franchise. If I remember correctly, this Pokemon franchise is bigger than Disney.
Wow.
Yeah. I think you accidentally named your Squirtle. It's like top right, top left, bottom right. So you can navigate with arrow keys.
There's a little bit more dialogue.
Press Z. Ammo.
Keep hitting Z.
Use tackle.
I don't know how I did that,
Well,
okay?
You won.
Yay!
You'll hear your experience go up.
70 XP points.
Watch. Press Z. You leveled up.
Alright, I played 3 games. My favorite was Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
I would keep playing that one once I got to the farm and I was picking up the rocks and the...
Yeah, you were
that
definitely
part
starting to
was
get the
fun.
hang of it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to get to the part where I get to have like little animals that make sounds.
Yeah.
That would make me very pleased.
Yes.
So that was my favorite of the 3 I tried. I like using the remote controller
Yeah.
more than...
It's a lot
keyboard.
easier because there aren't nearly as many buttons.
Yeah, and it's just more fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, there's something about like using the joystick and like I don't know, it's just like it feels like I'm gaming
Yeah.
more than like it feels like I'm tinkering on my laptop.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just like way more fun in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm curious for first time gamers who are blind. Where would you recommend they start? Like if there was one game that you're like, okay, if you know nothing about gaming, such as myself,
Yeah.
and they didn't have a Ross to help,
Yeah.
what would you be like, this is the one?
I would say a great example is audio games. They're games that have no visuals and they're meant for blind people. And so a popular one on iOS, for example, it's on iOS and on Windows. It's called Blind Drive. And you're basically a blind person driving a car. And
Ooh, that would be fun.
Yeah, and you have to avoid obstacles and stuff. And it's literally like the controls are swipe left, swipe right. Like that, it's just those 2 controls to play the game, and it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend. It's a really, really funny game, and so Blind Drive's a good one. But then, yeah, As Dusk Falls is another good one, like story-based games. But really, yeah, the difficulty does ramp up when you have to like begin exploring yourself. You know,
Yeah, exploring
on
a physical space.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess a virtual space.
Yeah, you're right. It's not a physical.
It's physical in the game.
Yes.
It's a physical space.
Yes.
So I think it's safe to say that I found gaming for the first time as a blind person much more difficult than I expected to, and I expected it to be difficult. But this series isn't about me being good at everything that I try. It's not even about me liking everything that I try. It's about me trying new things, having new experiences, and sharing my perspectives and opinions on those, and sharing what I think about the accessibility of them, and honestly, most importantly, spotlighting other people in the community, other blind people who do have skills and talents that I certainly do not possess. Being able to spotlight people like Ross, who do have skills and talents and interests that I don't, means a lot to me to be able to do that, because I want to show the diversity of this community and what we're capable of. But I'm just one person with one set of skills and one set of interests. So yeah, I want to share my platform with all these other incredible people in the community. And speaking of Ross being incredible, he's actually a really good gamer who can play really difficult games that I could never. And so I want to share some footage of him and some of his gameplay where he is playing a really difficult game and doing it really well. At least I think that's what this footage is of. I don't know. Clearly, we can all tell from this video that I basically know nothing.
1. Bow. 0. Revolver ammo. 6. Loaded. 1. Reserve.
So yeah, clearly Ross is a lot better at gaming than I am, but one thing we do have in common, as I said earlier, is our love of what most people would consider visual things, which for both of us includes tattoos. As you guys know, I still get tattoos even though I can't see them, because for me it's about creative expression, it's about the art, it's about showing people little pieces of my story, who I am, what I'm passionate about, what I care about. And the same goes for Ross, and he actually has this really cool gaming inspired tattoo that I want him to show you.
So this is my tattoo. It is the Pokemon Gyarados. and it is a quarter sleeve, so it goes from my right elbow to my right shoulder, and it basically looks like a sea serpent almost, or like a Chinese dragon, and it kind of snakes up my arm, and there's a bunch of waves surrounding it. But yeah, it's really, really cool, and I really, really like it. And it's kind of a story how I got it, or there's a lot of different reasons why I have it. First, I kind of got it because I was like, oh, I just want a cool dragon-looking sea serpent on my arm. It'd be so cool. But then it kind of evolved, no pun intended, into representing the Paralympics, my time swimming in the Paralympics. And I thought it'd be cool to have a Pokemon swimming in the water alongside me kind of feel.
All right, so here are my thoughts at the end of gaming for the first time as a blind girl. Overall, I did find myself focusing on how hard gaming was because I couldn't see, instead of how fun it was despite the fact that I can't see. And it has nothing to do with how Ross presented it, the games that he showed me, and it just has everything to do with who I am as an individual, my strengths and weaknesses, my passions and my interests. For example, makeup and fashion are things that many people find difficult, even sighted people. And so they're not maybe gonna put the time and the effort and the energy into figuring out how to do it, because it just seems like a waste of time. If you don't love something, you're not gonna put the effort that it sometimes takes. But I do love it. And so putting in the effort, it feels like effortless to me. Even though I can't do everything with makeup and styling that I wish I could and that I know I could if I could see it, I don't care. It doesn't matter because I love it so much that I'm gonna love it in whatever capacity I am capable of loving it. But I certainly can understand how some people, especially if they're blind, would find it really frustrating going shopping for a new outfit or putting on a face of makeup and not being able to see in the mirror. Why they would want to give up and why they would just focus on how hard it is because they can't see instead of how fun it is. I've always understood that, and I especially understand that after this experience that I had with gaming. Maybe if I could see, I would love gaming, or maybe I wouldn't, and that's okay. Not everything is for everyone. That's what makes life so interesting, is we're all unique individuals with different talents, skills, hobbies, passions, interests. Despite it being difficult, I'm really glad I gave it a try, and I really appreciate Ross for sharing his passion with me and with all of you, and I hope that this inspires some of you to try new things even if it makes you uncomfortable. And I want all of you to know that regardless of what your disability is or what your life circumstances are, if there's something you're interested in trying, there's ways to make it happen. Please don't give up. Just reach out, follow people in the community like Ross, other blind gamers. And I hope that if you are blind and you've always wanted to game, you have no idea where to start, this has inspired you to know that there are people out there to guide your way. I'm gonna link Ross's channel and some other resources in the description box down below, as well as a list of games that Ross has provided that he would recommend for people who are blind and maybe new to the world of gaming. He also has a playlist on his channel devoted to everything you need to know about accessibility in gaming. So lots of good stuff in the description box down below. Huge, huge, huge thank you to Ross. Huge thank you to my sponsor today, Squarespace. And until I see you next time, if you haven't seen episode 1 of this new series where I learned how to surf, you can click over here to check that out. Or if you want to hear Marta's story, who, similar to Ross, went from having 20/20 vision to blind overnight due to a tragic accident, you can watch this video right here. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.